Welcome to Books and
Out
Beyond
by
with that guy
Riverside.
Jay.
Yeah.
I am your host, that guy Jay. Today I am joined by my friend from Book Talk, C.Dotcentral. Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited too. I love your content. You are someone that reads everything, and I love that about you because I kind of operate the same way. As an example, just read Pounded by Produce last month. There's some wild side trips on Book Talk, and you get down a lot of those, and I love to see it. But I love to start everyone with a really easy question. What are you
Okay.
currently reading?
Oh, I'm about to read Blood Over Brighthaven. That's what I'm about to get into.
Oh, I love that one so much. ML Wong is one of my auto read authors.
Yeah, I always hear people talk so highly about that one. Because at first when it came out, I was a little hesitant, but now it's just everyone talks so highly about it. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and just dive in.
Did you read The Sword of Kaigen?
I did, yes, I did. I read the Sword of Kage. I want to read it again this year.
Yeah,
Um,
I loved The Sword of Kaigen, and then the Blood Over Brighthaven came out, and people were like, "It's better," and I was like, "There's no way, it can't be." I loved The Sword of Kaigen,
yeah.
and I don't know if Blood Over Brighthaven's better, but it's like it's as good. It's
Okay.
very it's very, very different, whole different
Yeah,
vibe,
bro.
but, like,
Okay.
man,
I
she knows how to break your heart.
No, for sure. Like, I feel like it's gonna be really hard to top Sword of Kaigen. Like, that's one of, like, top 5 fantasy books of all time. So, I don't know how that's gonna, blow everybody here is gonna top that, but, I mean, if it does, it does. We'll see.
Yeah, the Sword of Kaigen is I haven't read a ton of, standalone fantasy. I don't know how much standalone fantasy really exists, but just with standalone books, I would say Sword of Kaigen's one of my favorite standalone books ever.
Oh, yeah, for sure, same. I like
That was one of those where it's like I love series and I always want more, and I want more from that world, but I've read that she was, like, painfully depressed when she wrote it and said she never wants to revisit that, so I'm like, "Alright, fair enough," but, like,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you're ever feeling good, like
So let's say that's what I'm saying. You know what? And I can tell from the way the story was, but yeah, that makes sense. But there was also 2 other books before that one
yeah.
within the same
Yeah,
universe. So yeah,
I
I would have
think
to read
those
those.
were I think those were more YA from what I've heard, but I haven't checked them out yet.
Yeah, that's kinda what I heard too, so I don't know. I'll never see them. 'Em. I'll never get my hands on them.
Yeah, I don't even remember what they're called, but Blood Over Brighthaven blew me away, and anything she writes, I'm definitely gonna check out moving forward because they're so good.
Oh, yeah. I love them. I love her writing.
Yeah. I think there was a weird, like, discourse for a little while with the Sword of Kaigen, and I think people went into it, like, expecting it to be something that it wasn't, and I think some people were let down by that. That's why I've always tried to make sure I spread that, like, I've seen people be like, "Oh, I heard that it's like reading an anime and it's nonstop battles," and it's like, "No. No, no, no,
Oh,
like,
no
there's
yeah.
there's epic battles, but that's not the main point of what this book is, like,
Yeah, for
you're not
sure.
gonna walk away with that being the main thing you remember."
100%, definitely. And also too, like, even with anime, like, it's so much more than just, like, fight scenes. Like, there's so much character depth and development over time, especially with progressive, like, anime and stuff like that. So, yeah, she definitely has that down packed for sure.
Yeah. Now, do you have, like, a preferred genre? Would you say that you're a certain type of reader, or are you a true wild card?
I used to just mainly read dark romance when I first started reading. But then when I got on Book Talk, it just changed. That's when I got into fantasy, sci-fi, lit RPG. I don't really read contemporary romance, but it's kind of hard now. I feel like I'm more so like a wild card. I'll read anything. If it's interesting, if it's good, I'll read it.
Yeah, that's what I've become too, especially last year, I really leaned into, like, I will read anything, like, everyone was recommending Butcher and Blackbird, and I was like, "Alright, let's give it a go."
That one was really good.
It was, and I was like, "How come in every review I've seen of this, nobody talks about the fact that, like, 75% of that book is just slow burn?"
Oh, for sure, definitely, and
I
it's
was
funny.
not expecting that, and I was like, "Oh, so it's like we're getting a lot of banter, like, in a good way." This is not a
Yeah,
knock on it, like, I think the buildup made it that much better. It's like,
I agree, I agree.
that was a really fun read.
That was a really fun one. I still haven't finished the other 2 books within that realm, but I always hear that the first one is the best one.
I've heard that too, and I'm notorious for I don't know if you've seen me say this on Book Talk before, but I read a lot of book ones.
Please
Finishing series
say it.
is not
We
my
talked
strong
about that.
suit.
We talked about that before. It definitely me too.
Yeah,
I have
I
commitment
don't know,
issues
it's
to
just
series.
I partially because I used to not be like this, so I will blame Book Talk. It's not really their fault, but
Yeah.
they recommend too many good books, and it's like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Too many
I saw
books, so little time.
I saw a creator say this morning, I'm trying to remember who it was, but she said that she's a FOMO reader instead of like TBR or mood reader. And it's like same. It's like I see a really good review and it's like, oh, I want to read that now.
Yeah, definitely. That's how I am too. That's why I stopped setting TBRs because I'm too much of a mood reader. Like I'm all over the place with my reading. It's just how I operate.
Yeah, me too. I have a TBR jar just to like get through books that people gifted me.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
So it's like I feel like that's a good way to hold myself accountable to books I already have. But
Yeah.
like I don't know, I've seen some people set like strict TBRs every month and it's I could never do it. There's no way.
Same, same. You know, I'm living on the edge of
Yeah.
that with my reading.
Now, have you always been a reader? Like, when you were a kid, were you a reader in high school, etcetera?
No, I actually just became a reader, like, what was it? Back in 2023. I was depressed, okay? I just needed something to live for in that moment, so I just
Hey.
started going on BookTok. No, it's funny because I used to have another TikTok page before, and I started seeing Tender is the Flesh on my timeline, like, nonstop back to back, and so I was like, "Hmm, maybe I should give this a chance." And then I started diving deeper into book talk, and then that's where I ran across, like, dark romance, that whole subgenre, and I was like, "Okay, like, cool, like, let me go to Barnes& and Noble," and that's honestly how I got into reading. Before, I never really read anything. I think I read, like, 1 book and maybe a manga when I was younger, but that's about it.
Yeah, I was a later in life reader too. I got into reading as an adult in my early 20s, and
Yeah.
then, like, a lot of the 2000 teens, um, I have a daughter, so it's like, there's years there that slipped away without a whole ton of reading because
Yeah.
busy. But
Yeah.
I think I found Book Talk I think it was, like, around this time in 2022.
Oh, okay.
And I saw a bunch of stuff about, like, Brandon Sanderson and fantasy stuff, and I was like, "You know what?" Like, I was still reading, but it was more like a book every now and then, and I was like, "I should get back into that." Like, I have a lot of time and dove in headfirst straight into it. It's like consume my life, but in the best way.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. It just worked out, and now I love it. I can't stop. I just
Yeah,
can't.
same. And then I finally discovered, like, Libby and audiobooks last year
Yeah.
and immersive reading, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, this is it."
It's very relaxing. I love a good audiobook. There are a lot of audiobooks that I mean, I don't really particularly care for, but when you find the good ones, like, for example, Dungeon Crawler Carl, it's like listening to a video game.
It's so good.
It's so good. I
It's
love it.
it's amazing. I remember before I got into it, I saw someone talking about it, and they're like, "Oh, I love that it was a full cast." And
Yeah.
someone was like, "No, it's not. It's one guy."
Yeah, right. It's just
And
it's
then
one
I was like
so talented.
and then I heard the voices, and I was like, "Okay, I have to give this a try." Like, everybody was talking about it already, but I was like, "I need to get into this."
Yeah, for sure.
Book 2 for Dungeon Crawler Crawl is in my TBR jar, and I'm
Okay.
like every time I pull, I'm like, "I hope it's that." I think I might just cheat on that one 'cause I also have I also have the audio on Audible already ready to go, so I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm itching.
No, for sure, for sure. I didn't know that it was like a full cast. And it's funny because I actually was looking up on Google. I was so bored one day last year and I was just like, I want to read a book that reads like a video game that's not Ready Player One. Like everybody
Yeah.
always talks about that one. I just want something different. So, Reddit put me on and I was like, oh, what's this? And I was just completely sucked in as soon as I started listening to it. It was so good.
Oh, you're an avid Redditor too with the looking for books because I sneak around on there.
I do stick around on there too. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, Reddit has, like, kind of like the underrated gems that you would just never find on Book Talk, and that's why I just keep going on there. Now, I mean, obviously, people on Book Talk sometimes they end up finding those gems, and then it ends up going viral on Book Talk. That happens all the time. But yeah, Reddit is definitely a place that I go if I can't find something and I wanna read something specific.
I've been kinda looking for deeper cuts myself because 'cause I've
Mhm.
noticed that, like, and there's nothing wrong with it, but, like, we all kind of read I don't know if you've read it yet, Dark Matter by Blake Crouch.
I haven't read that, no.
It's really good, but it's like I noticed that collectively, like, a whole big group of us all read it around the same time, and, like, Book Talk kinda moves in these waves, and I'm like, I wanna find some stuff that I just read, like, not just because I
Yeah.
was influenced. So it's like
Right.
I'm currently in the middle of a 7-book sci-fi series, and it's from the early 2000s,
Okay.
and I've never seen it mentioned on Book Talk. I mentioned it, and I don't think anyone had ever heard of it. I s
Okay.
reviews are mixed on Reddit. A lot of people hate it, but I'm like, "I'm having a good time with this." It's called The Saga of Seven Sons. It's,
Okay.
it's kind of fantasy heavy, space opera. It's cool. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I've been looking for kind of like deeper cuts like that recently, and it's a lot of fun to kinda like discover something that's like untapped.
Yes, for sure. Absolutely. I actually there are quite a bit of books that I have found that like, it only has like maybe like 3 or maybe 4 reviews on Book Talk, but nobody really talks about it or knows about it. I love those kind of books. And I love being able to run across those types of things. And then you just introduce people, but it does move in waves on Book Talk. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's kind of annoying sometimes because it's just kind of like, we don't all have to read the same thing. I mean, it's nothing wrong with it. Enjoy your reading. But it's just like, I feel like sometimes a lot of people on Book Talk can get sucked into what's popular instead of, really reading stuff that's not necessarily mainstream, but it's still good as far as like
Right.
recommendations go.
Yeah, I think that's super valid. I've been trying to like, with the rest of this year, I'm, like, really trying to figure out, like, prioritizing some series I wanna get back to, and at least I've seen some people calling it a menu instead of a TBR, and I'm like, I like
Okay.
that, like, I could
Yeah.
see myself making a list of, like, 20 books for next month and then try to at least pick from that,
Yeah.
and
Same.
I do love, all of the indie authors on Book Talk.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
been so cool being able to see some books that, without Book Talk, I never would have heard of.
Yeah, for sure. I absolutely agree with that. Like excuse me, I've come across and met even authors that I now consider, some of my friends, really good friends, and they write some of the most coolest stuff that I've ever read. And it's just kind of like there's not that pressure there to like put something out and keep the momentum going. It's just kind of just like just pure fun. Like I wrote this, it's a great time. Like here you go. And I like stuff like that.
Yeah, there's a book talker that I've followed for years, Brandon Baker Reads. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
I love
Yeah,
Brandon.
but, like, I don't know if you know this, but I think it was was it last year or 2023? He came out with a horror novella.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It was fantastic, and he did not make a big deal out of it. He was very, like, casual. He's like, "I wrote this for fun." It was,
Yeah.
like, maybe 120, 130 pages. It was fantastic. It was a little bit weird at times, like, it was great.
Oh my gosh, I have to check that out because, like, I I love Brandon. Like, actually, Brandon is one of the first people that I saw or watched when I started going on Book Talk, and so it's just like he's always been around since, like, what, 2020?
Yeah,
I'm a huge fan. I love his videos. He always gives great horror recommendations.
he does, and he doesn't even talk about it a lot, but he's got one of his own.
Oh my gosh, I have to check that out. I had no idea.
That's I had, like, a full circle moment with the podcast. One of the first book talkers that I remember following was Maurice Africh,
Mm.
and he just came out with Cello's Gate a couple months ago,
Oh, yes, yes,
and I
I
had
did
him on the
watch that.
podcast. It was so fun talking to him. I'm like, "Dude, I've been following you for, like, over 3 years."
Yeah.
And his book is another one, it's amazing. It's gonna be, like, a 6-book series, and I'm
Okay.
like, "No pressure, bro, but book 2, let's go."
Yeah, isn't that like the worst? It's like with the Rage of Dragons. I mean, I've been waiting forever for Evan Winters to come out with the 3rd book in the Burning series. I don't know when that's gonna come
I'm
out.
starting to get concerned. I don't
Oh.
want him to pull like a George R.R. Martin or
Oh,
Patrick
yeah.
Rothfuss or like
Yeah.
I that series is so cool.
It is so cool, and I hope that, like, with this 3rd book, it's just lit. It's a great time, a great ending. And then I can finally just go ahead and finish the 2nd book because for a while I didn't read the 2nd book because I was waiting for the 3rd one. So what I did was, which wasn't the smartest thing to do, but I read half of the 2nd book when I had saw him do an interview with one of my mutuals, and I was just like, "I'm gonna wait till you come out with this 3rd one. Hopefully, it's the end of the year, and then I'll just come back and circle it right back around." I need it.
It's so good. That's another thing that I've loved about Book Talk as well is I think that indie authors and I think Book Talk has made reading more popular to the masses, like even
Yeah.
Barnes& and Noble's opening new stores for the first time in years, but I think it's given people who didn't get a chance with traditional publishing the opportunity to get their story out there, like someone like,
Yeah.
ML Wong or Fonda Lee.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
When I was a kid, I didn't, like, even think of the fact that Asian-inspired fantasy could have existed because there was none of it back then,
Mhm.
and I love that there's, have you ever read Nnedi Okorafor?
No, but I do have one of their books. I do.
Yeah, she writes it's like I've heard people call it African realism, I've heard others
Yeah.
call it, like, sci-fi. It
Mhm.
walks a weird line, but it is so good, and again, it's like that's stuff that years ago didn't get a chance, but I feel like Book Talk helped spread those kind of stories, and it's really fun
100%.
to see. I mean, as much as Game of Thrones got me into fantasy, we've seen a lot of, like, Eurocentric medieval-based fantasy. Let's see some other stuff
For
too.
so long. Yeah, definitely. Cause I grew up because I used to just, like, watch a bunch of, like, movies and TV shows, and majority of what I watched was fantasy-based, but it was always Eurocentric, and I always wanted African-inspired fantasy. I love and one of my top favorites is Asian-inspired fantasy. I just feel like it just hits all the nails on the head for me, like, the character development, the world building, the magic system, like, it's just so much to explore along with, samurais, feudal
Yeah,
Japan. I love
yeah.
it. It's
Have
one of
you
my
read the
favorites.
Greenbone Saga?
I have read, I read the first one, Jade City. Yeah.
How were you on it? You didn't love it?
I did not love it, no, and I wanted to, but I let me see how I can put this. It just wasn't what I thought it was. Like, I went in with completely different expectations of that book. I don't know if you ever seen the movie Kung Fu Hustle. Have you ever seen that?
I have years ago, but I have.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was going to kind of be like that, which I mean, it's its own thing,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I just had different expectations for it. That's like the best way I could put it.
I love the trilogy overall. I think the first book
Yeah.
was actually the weakest.
Okay.
I
Okay.
I think book 2 was probably, Jade War. I think that was
Yeah.
my favorite of the 3, but I
Okay.
thought that that was such a cool world, and I've recommended that for people who wanna try fantasy because it's like the world building is like it's basically like 1980s,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
cars exist, like there's not that much you have to it's not like trying to get into The Lord of the Rings. You don't have to learn
Right.
a whole
Right.
new place, and, I think it's cool for that reason, but it's like it's not just another, knights in a round table kind of fantasy, like, it has
Yeah.
magic, it has
Yeah.
very cool stuff, but it's like it's a really unique world.
No, for sure, for sure. I will say that. Now, I did talk to someone about this like before when I had gave my review for Jade City. I was like, I feel like maybe if this was my entryway into fantasy, I probably would have liked it more. But when you start off your fantasy journey with the Rage of Dragons and the Sword of Kaigen,
Yeah.
you don't really come back from that. My expectations are like different now. Like,
Yeah. Your
yes,
best line is way up here.
it's way up here. Like, for sure. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I do love I'm trying to think of, the other African-inspired fantasy series I've read. I know there's a few out there. There's some good ones, though. I
Yeah.
also I got into the Jasmine Throne this year too, which is,
Okay.
like, Indian inspired, and it's like
Yeah.
I'm happy to see so many other cultures getting their moment to because they all have mystical, stories that go back the
Yeah.
same way that we do you know, here, but it's like
Yeah.
and
For sure.
I think Book Talk is I think indie publishing is good for that.
Yes,
'Cause
I
the
do agree.
publishing industry still has work to do. I think we can all agree
Yes.
there. And I think indie is giving people a real opportunity to make writing their career and not have to fit into the big fives mold.
Right. I 110% agree. And that's what I love about Book Talk too. And I actually want to start getting into what was it? Indian and, like, Middle Eastern or Persian fantasy more so.
Yeah.
I really wanna start getting more so into those because I just feel like that would just be something that I would really like, I like watching stuff like that, so I know I'm gonna really enjoy reading it too. So, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely wanna start getting more into that.
Now, before Book Talk, you said you had another TikTok. Did you create content there, or were you just like
Oh,
a
yeah.
consumer?
No, I was both. I created content, it was fun, it was more so like commentary on things that I personally care about that was going on in the world, and, I would voice my opinions about different things and talk about things and make jokes and be funny and things of that nature, so it was kinda one of those things.
Do you create over there at all, or is that kind of just
No, the page is gone now.
oh, you
It's
got rid of it?
gone. Yeah, um, I just felt like it was just time for I just wanted to do something just different and
Yeah.
start over fresh. And so I just decided to just let it go and just make the page that I have now.
Be your primary focus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I had TikTok for years. I was an early adopter. I have a cousin and she's much younger than me. Uh and I think it was like 2019. She was like, "Download TikTok so I can send you memes." And I was like, "All right, I got you." And then I spent like 4 years never even considering making a video. I was just like, to me, I was a consumer only, never thought I would make content. And then I
Mhm.
got into Book Talk, and for the first year, maybe more, I just watched. And then I saw people, like, forming community and making real friends, and I was like, "I wanna be part of that." And I kinda feel like
Mhm.
you have to add to really get yourself in the mix, like,
Oh, for
commenting
sure.
isn't really enough.
Yeah, I do
So I
agree
was
with
like,
that.
"Let me try," and my first videos were terrible. I'm, like, a very anxious person, didn't like being on camera, like
No, for sure. I completely feel that because even when I first started on Book Talk, I really my first videos were absolutely terrible, like, honestly, but I really wasn't, like, deeply ingrained in the community, like, I really wasn't socializing with people, meeting new people, I was just kinda more so to myself, and then it wasn't until my mutual SDM Reads I don't know if you know her. Yeah, but she
trying to think
is
if I do. I'll have to
blonde
check.
hair I don't know, but she reads all different kinds of genres, but either way, it wasn't until she had followed me one day and she started commenting on my videos, and, she was cool, but she DM'd me and she was like, "Hey, do you want a buddy read?" And in that moment, that is when I started being like, "Oh, wait, I can actually, like, talk to, I guess, randoms on the internet
Yeah,
and potentially make friends." And now we've been friends for, like, about a year now, constantly, and I'm just like, "Oh, I like this. This is fun."
it is, and I'm seeing more and more people do, like, bookish events and meeting up, and
Yeah, for sure.
it's very cool, and that's actually been one of my biggest takeaways from this is the community aspect of it because I have an injury, so I'm mostly homebound,
Okay.
and so it's like I spent years kinda just chilling by myself, and
Mhm.
it's kinda cool to find a whole group of people that are at least somewhat like-minded. We all love books, and I love the variety in what we read as, like, a
Yeah.
community. Like, it seems like a very cool corner of the internet because the
Yeah.
internet has been pretty toxic for many years in most
Yeah.
spaces.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. It definitely is. There's a lot always going on. It's always
A
something.
and it's not as though Book Talk has 0 drama, but it seems to have a whole lot less than, like, some other
Oh, yeah, I
corners.
agree. I definitely agree. Like, like the perfume corner? It's crazy on that side.
Is it?
It can be crochet. Like there's just so many different communities on TikTok. It's
Yeah.
just it's endless. It's endless.
Yeah, it's like I grew up on the time of the internet where forums were big.
Yeah.
And I look back to some of those, and it's like dumpster fires. They were so bad, like,
Oh
just so,
yeah.
like I was big into, cars, always have been, so I was, like, in automotive forums, and it's like, it got into real life fights over
Oh my
internet stuff,
gosh.
and I was like, "Oh my g" it was yeah, it was bad.
Oh my
It was real
gosh.
bad.
You remember those MySpace days?
Yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. I was like, I used to really like sit there like I'm a coder just to build my entire page. Like it was
Yeah, well, I mean, you did have to do basic HTML to make the page.
it
Moving backgrounds and pick a song, and it's so crazy to think back though that we used to just literally rank our friends for the world to see.
Oh my gosh, yes! Oh my god, people used to do that on me, and I used
Top
to do that. Yeah, it
topic
was
was
a
wild. Why did Tom think that was a good idea?
oh my gosh, yeah, we had so many crazy times in the early 2000s and stuff, like, sometimes I miss those times, though. Sometimes
I think about that. I do think about the 2000s internet was a lot of fun.
it was.
It
It
was
was
like
so much fun.
it got toxic, but at parts it was really cool. It's
Yeah,
like
for
I
sure.
missed early Facebook because
Yes.
I dropped out of college to join the Navy, and all my friends got on Facebook, and you needed a college email. And I was like, "Oh, cool. I just left. I no longer have access to that." So then when MySpace started taking off, I was like, I avoided Facebook for years because I was like, "Nope, nope, I don't even
Right.
want it now."
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that was the early Facebook days were looking back to, it was like it was so boring, but everybody loved it.
Yeah,
Compared to
like
what it is now,
now.
it was a simpler time.
Yeah, it definitely was, like, I used to love being on Facebook. I wasn't on there for very long, and then it's like Instagram, it came out. But, yeah, those were great times. You also remember Vine?
Yeah, oh, yeah. I never
Oh.
created Vine, but I loved watching Vines.
Yeah, I always loved watching Vines, they were hilarious. A
I
lot of
still
influencers came out of that.
every now and then I'll come across a TikTok page that's just, Vine compilations,
Oh, yeah, I've come
and it's
across
like
some of those too.
I'll get sucked down that rabbit hole for, like, 10 or 15 minutes just watching old Vines, and a lot of them
Yeah.
still hold up, they're funny.
Dude, they're hilarious. I miss those times.
Having to get to a punchline in 6 seconds truly was an art form.
That was a skill.
Like, it was a very specific kind of comedy to be able to, like, tell a story with a punchline and some type of payoff all in 6 seconds.
Yeah.
And then here I am now, I'm like, I find myself being way too wordy with my posts where I'm like, I'll record it and then I'll be like, "You took 10 seconds before you even said what the point of this TikTok was. Like, get to the point, bro."
Sometimes, it's just like that. I
I mean, I like yapping, so it's like sometimes I'm like, "At least tell people what you're gonna yap about. They're gonna scroll. All of our attention spans are shot."
right. For sure.
Now, your page has kind of blown up a couple different times where I've seen big growth in your follower count. Is there anything in particular that you think that came from, or was it just you continuing to make videos you like and people, finding it to be entertaining or
Yeah, I feel like that mainly happened when I stopped restricting myself to just like one type of thing. Like I am a girl who likes all different types of things. I like talking about politics, I like talking about anime, animated series or whatever it is that I want to talk about. And I feel like once I just started unapologetically just being myself and not caring how this may look to some other people, that's when I really started to grow on BookTok. I mean, people follow me for a multitude of different reasons, but they stayed. So, I mean, it worked.
yeah. And I think that's something actually I've been working on myself is trying to be more of myself and let more of my true person because I'm a very silly, goofy guy, but I'm also a very anxious guy, so I don't think it always came across in my videos. So now I'm just posting like random stuff. Like if I find something funny and it's like 7 seconds, like I'm just gonna post it.
For sure. Just do
And
it. Like, yeah.
I'm also like trying to figure it out. Like I don't love doing reviews
Mhm.
because of like there's certain people that are so good at them. Like Dre comes to mind. He is
Mhm.
so freaking good at his reviews, and I'm like,
Oh, yeah, he's hilarious.
I get in my own head though, where I'm like, your review is nothing like his, but it's still it's fine, it's mine. But it's like I'm trying to get myself more comfortable doing them again. It's like I've decided I'm no longer going to talk about rating systems because like for me, it's like I can't always tell you why one was a 4 and one was a 4.5. Like it's kind of vibe. So it's like I'm just gonna
Yeah.
tell you how I felt about the book. And if it sounds good to you, then you'll read it.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. It's funny because when I first started on BookTok, I used to do my reviews like the very large BookTok creator Smitty. I don't know if you've ever seen any of his videos
Yeah,
before.
I have. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I used to do my BookTok videos like him, and then I was just like, you know, this isn't me. Let me just
Yeah.
go ahead and just like just find my own path. Like it was cute when I started and then I just kind of like just kind of figured it out for myself of what works for me. I just feel like, I've had people tell me I talk fast, but that's besides the point. The point that I'm trying to get at is I just whatever you're feeling. I mean, like what you said, it is just the vibes. Like whatever you feel like is what you need to say that will maybe get your friends to read the book so that way y'all can talk about it. I
Yeah.
mean, that's just pretty much how I go about it.
Yeah, and it's like I try to remind myself too is like I have had people be like, "Oh, I've read this book that you recommended and I loved it. Like, thanks for reviewing it." It's like, "Oh, okay. See, like my opinion does work for some people." It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
we don't all have to do it the same way.
For sure. For sure.
It
Definitely.
it's tricky though, you know. This like I try not to chase numbers, but then TikTok will do things like restrict a video, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, it's been up for an hour. Why do I only have 7 views? Like I know.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it's like I try not to follow the analytics too much, but I also do try and pay attention to like what's working and what's not.
Mhm.
Because it's like at the end of the day, I think we do all want to like have our content be fun and entertaining for the people who watch it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. 100%. I mean, some people say, views don't matter. But, when you do content for a while and something doesn't work out like how you thought it would, it does kind of sting a little because it's just like I just put all this time into this and it's like
Yeah.
it just went nowhere. So yeah, I have paid attention to like the numbers before, what my analytics were, but I don't know, it just kinda got to a point where it was just, like, a lot. I just go with the vibe. If this is something I wanna put out, it just is what it is. If people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. It just kind of just is what it is. It's social media.
Yeah. Well, it's like I find it funny. I've started ever since Friday the 13th fell in June. I put a Jason mask on and did a silly video of him like talking about um reading Lonesome Dove and then him talking about reading spicy books he found in his mom's room, like, and so I've been doing it every Friday, and it
Oh,
up pretty much every Friday, but
oh my god, I gotta watch those.
I find that, like, the one yesterday I thought was really good, and it only got, like, 130 views. It's I don't know, the algorithm didn't like it, but I've been having fun with it, and it's been so fun to come up with different ideas for nonsense for Jason to get into. Yesterday, he
Mhm.
reviewed a book called Pounded by Produce, which is worse than you could even think it is.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
But
But,
it's like I've just leaned into it's like, you know what? The people who comment find it funny, and, like, I've had some of my book talk friends say that it's, like, some of their favorite videos I've done. So,
yeah.
I'm not gonna care that these don't blow up, like, they're fun to make, I find them hilarious, and it's like, I just, like in that sense, that's where I'm trying to stop chasing the numbers because
Oh, for sure.
like, they
Yeah.
matter to a certain point, but so does having fun.
Yeah. So just having fun, especially because like, it's book talk.
Yeah.
We're all just here for a really good time and good vibes. But
Yeah.
also too, it's like, there are people that have been on Book Talk since like or within the bookish space since like 2019. And it took them like 5 to 6 years, even longer. There are people that have been doing this even on BookTube for like a decade
Oh,
for
yeah.
them to get to where they are. So it's just one of those things where it just takes time to kind of, get the community in your space that you want to have. For
Yeah,
sure.
exactly, and I think one of my biggest things other than community that I've really enjoyed about Book Talk is I discovered that I really enjoy making content, like, I
Yeah.
didn't realize I've had this weird relationship within my own head when it comes to being creative because, like, I put creativity in such a narrow box where it was
Yeah.
like, to me, to be creative or artistic, like, you had to be good at painting, you had to be good at, like, a traditional art form, and,
Yeah.
like, it's a really stupid way to look at things, but it's like, I put myself in that box for so many years, like, my daughter she's a really talented artist, she's amazing at drawing, painting, all of those things, so it's like, in my head, I always considered her creative, but it's like, I'm creative too, I just do it I put on a Jason mask and make dumb videos, like, it's like
Right.
but ultimately, like, we're kinda getting the same thing from it, like, internally, so it's like, I discovered I really like content creation, like, it's a lot of fun, like, I
It
even like the editing
is.
part of it that some people consider, like, the boring, like, nitty-gritty part, like, I find that stuff fun.
Yeah, because it's satisfying, like, after you go back and you watch it once you finish, like, once you're finished, it's so satisfying to see, like, "I put the work in, I did that." Like, yeah, I feel the same way about content creation. I don't think I'll ever stop. I've been doing it since I was, like, what, 24, 25. I don't think I'll ever stop. Like, it's such a cool hobby to have, and it's also really just fun pastime as well, like
It is, and it's like you actually do learn useful skills, like,
Yes.
being able
Yes.
to edit videos in 2025 is super relevant.
Yes, it
Like,
is.
social media is bigger than it's ever been, and it'll continue to grow,
Yeah, for
and it's
sure.
like, even if you're not trying to monetize it, like, these are good skills to
I
have.
have. I do agree with that 110%, for
It
sure.
it it's like I had a podcast in 2018, and it went for all of, like, 10 episodes. Because it's like it was automotive related, and I had a co-host that was a friend of mine, and his life got busy, and back then, like, in my head, I built so much the idea of this being, like, a two-man operation. I was like, couldn't convince myself to do it alone, like, wasn't there mentally. So it's like, I had a very limited content creation experience from that, but it was, like, literally just dipping my toes.
Yeah.
But then, like, I would say the last year, year and a half, really figuring out TikTok and even learning how to use something like CapCut, like basic
Yeah.
editing software, like, it's so cool. It's like, now on my computer, I use DaVinci Resolve for, the podcast, like,
Oh, cool.
learned how to, like, do basic color grading and learned how to edit on a computer, like, this is all fun stuff.
Yeah. It's
And it
very
all comes
interesting.
from us talking about silly little books, as some people call them.
Yeah. Exactly. It's
And
great.
and all of the silly little stuff on Book Talk is great.
It is.
I have friends that, like, only read if it's self-help or classics, and I'm like, "Oh, man, you're missing out. There's some fun stuff out there."
For sure. Like, I can't imagine my life just reading self-help books and, things of that nature. I need something else. I need something that brings the chaos, the fire. Put a flame to my heart.
Also, a lot of people seem shocked by this, but it's like you can learn real life stuff from fiction. In
Yeah, for
fact,
sure.
it's kind of the purpose of fiction in a lot of cases.
Yeah, no, definitely. Life lessons, everything. Like, there's so much to take away from it. I feel sorry for people that have never, just sat down and just enjoyed fiction. Like, it's a great time.
For any bros out there that are watching this that poo-poo at, like, romance and dark, smutty stuff, it's an instruction manual, man. Like, they show you in the book the kind of men that they want, like,
That's so true. That's so true. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Definitely in like even dark romance, it can definitely be an instruction manual. Like, there's so much there. My
yeah.
best friend's, boyfriend, he read one of her dark romances that her and I were buddy reading, and he was like, "You like this stuff? I mean, what you trying to do?"
It's
Like, it's great. It's great.
I find it so odd that so many men have an aversion to it. Because there's
Yeah.
people like, do you follow Vic Reads?
I don't think so, no.
I've mentioned him before on here because the whole start of his, like, book talk account last year was, like, anti-romance, romance is trash, and it was 100% a troll, and I loved watching it because, like, a lot of people picked it up real quick and figured it
Yeah.
out, and it's
Yeah.
like, he's saying that romance is trash, but then he reads Abby Jimenez and gives it a 5 star, like, he's
Right.
he's trolling you, and it's
Yeah.
funny because it's working on some of you, but, like, there are so many people that are like, "Oh," like, "Oh, it's just corn," and it's like, Okay, I mean, I guess if that's what you wanna call it, like, and boil it down to that, but it's a lot more than that, like, Butcher and
Yeah.
Blackbird is a great example.
Yeah.
There's, like there's, like, 2 R-rated scenes, and 95% of the rest of the stuff is, like, PG-13 and really, you know,
Interesting.
amateurish and, like,
Yes, and fun and
it's really
action-packed,
funny.
and really funny, yes, it really is. There's so much, like I mean, with any books or any genre, it could be hit or miss, but, like, I find that with, like, dark romance, like, I like the romance, I like the smut, I like the action of it all too, because those are, like, things that I like combined even in other genres, but it's a fun, chaotic ride that just keeps my attention. Because I seriously think I might have ADHD, but that
I'm
always keeps me
100%
focused.
100% convinced I do. My daughter does, and then she'll look at me sometimes and be like, "Where do you think I got it?" And I'm like, "You're right."
You know what? Yeah. Hilarious.
I think a lot of us in this space are kind of fit into that. Like, I think there's some common denominators of how we all ended up here.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. Definitely. It's so funny because the only reason why I mean, outside of me exploring on BookTok, like I was watching 365 Days. I don't know if you know what that is, but it was on Netflix. And it's like a dark mafia kind of romance TV show, but it was interesting.
Oh, I
And
think
it's
I
like,
have heard of that.
yeah, it was, I mean, I found it to be entertaining, but it's just like dark
Is it?
romance. It is.
I'm I found that, like, I don't have my finger on the pulse when it comes to TV and shows
Yeah.
because I spend so much time reading instead. I try and get into certain TV shows. Nala, please don't knock over the microphone. She likes to invade the podcast. But I just a lot of the times I'd just rather read.
Yeah.
I've also found where if I put something on Netflix, I'm gonna end up surfing my phone.
Oh, yeah, that too, that too. Well, it depends on what it is for me. For example, if I'm watching or rewatching Castlevania, I'm gonna pay attention because that's actually really good. It depends on what it is. If it's really good,
I've almost checked that out like 5 times and never gotten around to it.
please, Jay, just know that you are missing out. That was such a good animated series. I feel like that was one of the best things that Netflix has put out in a really long time with
Maybe I can
Castlevania.
maybe I can convince my daughter to watch that with me. She used to be heavy into anime when she was in middle school, and
Yeah?
now, like, she got into high school, and it's not as cool to her anymore, but I think she watched a lot of, like, the kind of like Naruto, like, kind of younger level.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Maybe I
Gotcha.
can talk her into it. I'm always
Yeah,
trying
that's
to
fun.
find ways to get her to hang out with me. She'll be 16 this month, so
Oh my gosh, it's so cute. That's so
dad
exciting.
dad is not the coolest.
How does it feel to have a 16-year-old?
It's wild. It's so weird. It's so weird. Like, I was talking to her the other day, and I was like, "We gotta get you your driver's permit. You know that, right?" And she was like, "I'm thinking, like, in 6 months, I could just give her the keys to the car, and she can go get her own milk because I have to go away
Yeah.
every day 'cause kid loves milk." It's
That's
nuts.
hilarious.
It's a lot of fun, though. She cracks me up. She is a very funny she doesn't realize how funny she is. I can't wait until she does.
Oh my
She's very
gosh.
creative.
I
She's
love
a good
that.
kid.
That's good. That's
I'm
good.
constantly trying to it's been, like, a mission of mine the entire time I've been on Book Talk to get her to be a reader because she's
Oh,
not. And I got her to read 2 books, 2 out of 3 in The Arc of the Scythe by Neil Shusterman.
okay.
Those were really cool. She loves horror, so I've been trying to get her to read Clown in a Cornfield because I heard that one was really good. I'm like, "I have, like, 35 Stephen King books, like, you can try those too." I know, like, she'll watch anything horror, and I'm like, "They make books too."
Yeah, right.
It's the very popular genre.
Exactly. They even turned those books into movies as well,
Hell,
where
a lot of the movies you like started as books. Come on,
books. Yeah, exactly.
come to the reading side. I think
No,
she
for sure.
resists partially because I want it so bad.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Probably, maybe.
But
But
she will go to Barnes& and Noble with me, but she'll end up buying, which is fine too. She'll buy, like, nonfiction, like, kind of like reference books or,
okay.
like murder books about
Oh.
serial killers or cults or
My girl, my girl. Yeah, that's me right there.
yeah,
That's what I expect.
she likes true crime and, like, as she calls it, trashy TV. 90
Okay.
Day Fiancé. I've seen a lot of that.
Listen, I can't do trash TV anymore. I'm past that. The only trash TV I have watched was Love Island. I was a fan last season, but that's as far as I'm willing to go.
I've heard a lot of people say that that one is actually worth checking out because it's so entertaining.
It was so entertaining, Jay. I mean, the drama was almost every episode. I was deeply ingrained in the fandom. I've never that's never happened to me before. I think
I'm pretty
season
sure I
7.
saw a few TikToks about that.
Yes,
Or
season
you
7 and season
got pretty
6 was
into
really
it.
good. I was. That's why I only made one video and then I kind of brought it up in another video because I could go on for days talking about it.
Well, I discovered there is a whole subgenre of people who create only that kind of content on TikTok. Like, Love
Yes,
Island TikTok is real
it is
and
so real.
thriving.
It is, and it's very entertaining. I'm on there sometimes, but
Like,
not too much.
I know who Hutta is.
You know you know who it is.
Everything I've learned about her was against my will, but I know it.
That is so funny. What about Nicolandria?
No, I had see, I only know
Oh, you gotta find out about Nicolandria. It's very entertaining. I love that.
I'll have
Well,
to,
maybe
dip my
oh, go
toes
ahead.
there.
Yes, please do. And also too, maybe your daughter might be interested in, like, horror manga. There's a lot of really good ones out there.
Yeah, I'll have to try that too. I always tried to get her to read manga because I was like, "You like anime? It's
Yeah.
Harry, let's read words."
Yes. And I feel like because you said that, I think that she would love Castlevania. If not, then obviously my recommendations are trash if a 16-year-old does not find them interesting.
I'll try and sell her on Castlevania. I did find out
Definitely.
randomly like 2 weeks ago, she was like, "I've been trying to watch more movies because I feel like I haven't seen that many."
Mm.
She's like, "I watched this old movie from the '90s," and I was like, "Ow, ow." And she was like, "Yeah, it was about this detective, Brad Pitt when it was in it," and I was like, "Seven? You mean Seven? Like one of the most classic movies?" She's like, "Yeah, that one was good."
Oh my gosh.
But
That is
she'll be like, she'll often say things like back in the 1900s, and I'm like,
you know what? I do that
ma'am."
sometimes too. I just it depends on, like, what decade we're talking about here. Because I mean, if it's beyond, like
She means the late '90s. She's just rude.
yeah, that's just rude at that point. Like, I could see, like, okay, the '60s and maybe up,
Yeah.
because my grandmother was born in the '30s. So, I can understand why you said the 1900s, but the
Right, yeah, yeah,
'90s?
yeah.
I'm in my 20s.
Yeah, she loves, like she loves stuff Y2K. Anything
Okay.
from late '90s, early 2000s is like a hit with her age group, and I'm like and then I did the math, and I'm like, "Oh, man, this is the equivalent of me being in college and having, like, '80s parties." It's the same time gap, and that hurts my feelings a little.
That's hilarious.
It's fun, though.
For sure.
Now with the content, have you ever considered, like, doing anything long form like YouTube or, anything else, or you happy on TikTok?
I do want to transition to being on YouTube. Um, and I'm trying to also put more content on Instagram as well. And be more consistent in those spaces. But I feel like I can definitely thrive with longer form content. Like very specifically, sorry, like doing like vlogs, like reading vlogs. Um,
Yeah, those are always cool to see.
yeah, like, I really, really like those, and I like the aesthetic. I've been watching a lot of them to see, like, maybe how I wanna go about doing mine. I still wanna do reviews and book recommendations for different things, like, book recommendations for, like, Black Mirror because I love Black Mirror, stuff like that, you know? And so, I still wanna go down there, but I definitely wanna start doing more, like, vlogging stuff.
Black Mirror is awesome.
It is
I've been toying with the idea of I think I'm gonna do a longer video on, my YouTube channel for, like, kind of bulk review a bunch of books because 'cause I'm so
yeah,
behind on my reviews, but there's some that I definitely wanna touch on. But I
yeah.
made everything I've done on my YouTube has been this podcast except for I made one video, and it was just the 7 five-star reads I had in the first half of the year, and that was a lot of fun to make because it's like it gave me I feel like I took pressure off of myself from trying to be, short form with it, where if I wanted to go on about a book for 5 minutes before I got to the next one, I didn't
Yeah.
feel any pressure to, like, keep it quick because on TikTok, like, I do feel like you do better with videos that are under a few minutes long.
Mhm. Yeah.
But, like, everyone on YouTube is looking for 15 to 20 minutes, so if you end up yapping too much, like, you're kinda safe.
Yeah,
So I
for
think
sure.
I might just move my reviews to YouTube so that I
Yeah.
don't feel any, like, constraints on myself.
Yeah, that would be good. That's honestly a really good idea. I feel like because I've been making review videos for like over a year now, like a minute and 30 seconds, like maybe 3 minutes max, depending on what it is that I'm talking about. I feel like, I tried it the other day, it's kinda hard now for me to kind of expand as much because I feel like I hit all the points kinda quick, but it's like, you can expand on those points, like, you don't have to just, like, bulldoze through everything like how you do on TikTok, so it's definitely like a learning curve for me, honestly.
Well, I can say that I was worried that with 7 books, I wasn't gonna have a video long enough to be worthwhile, and then I finished recording, and I was at, like, 28 minutes, and obviously, I cut out some random times where I had a brain fart and just stopped talking for 20 seconds and
Yeah.
things like that, but it was like it was a lot longer than I anticipated very easily. Like,
Yeah.
once you just start yapping, it's easy to get going, and I do think that the whole time I'm recording a review for TikTok, in the back of my head, I'm like, "Alright, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up." Like, I don't mean to do it to myself, but I definitely do.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I
go
try to
ahead, I'm
keep
done.
them like I try to keep them like 60 to 90 seconds, and I
Mhm.
find it so difficult.
Really? 16 and a okay, okay. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I do too. I try to keep it, but it's weird because it's like as soon as I click the record button on TikTok, it's like sometimes I kind of freeze up and don't know what it is that I want to say, and I
Me
just kind
too.
of wing it.
When I
It's
go to review a book, I feel like I forgot everything I just read. I'm like,
yes.
"Do I even know this book?"
Right. Right. I go through that all the time. I don't know why. You would think like after creating and making videos for so long that you wouldn't like I get anxiety when I record videos. And I don't know why,
Oh, me
but
too.
yeah, it's I kind of hate it cuz I feel like it kind of stomps me, but I have to like push through it and just like go ahead and make it and then after I make it I'm like, "Oh, I can breathe now." Feels like I'm holding my breath the whole time.
Well, I can say this podcast has helped because I've had to talk first. I mean, this is going to be the episode we're recording right now is episode 32.
Oh, wow.
So it's like each episode is roughly an hour. I have over 32 hours of talking on the internet now where it's
Wow.
not super new anymore. I'm a little bit
Yeah.
more comfortable. I do still get anxious though. Like I still deep breath, don't talk too fast. Like
Yeah, for sure.
so it's like
I agree
if
with
you
that.
do a little bit of the vlogging and the longer form on YouTube, it might help too because you kind of
Yeah.
desensitize yourself.
No, right. That's what I'm hoping for. Hopefully that happens.
I've figured this out about myself. Recently, I was actually talking to my therapist about this. Is like book talk content has become exposure therapy that I didn't intend for it to be. Because with an injury being home for years, like my anxiety got way worse because
Mhm.
I wasn't around people as often, and I just kind of threw myself, in the fire with content. I was like, I'm just gonna start posting every day. Like, gonna figure it
Yeah,
out eventually.
for sure. For
And
sure.
I do, like I said, I still do get nervous, but it's way less so than it used to be, and
Yeah.
it's carried over into real life too.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. It's not as bad as when I first started, but it's still there. So
I I even put a 6-second video up of me doing a stupid dance outside of Barnes& and Noble yesterday. I posted that.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one.
Never thought I would do that. Like, that's way outside my comfort zone. There was people parking, looking at me. I was like, "Whatever.
Never
Just gonna send it."
Just have fun.
And that's really what it is, and it's like, I think it's been good for all of us in that sense too, is that I think a lot of people discovered Book Talk coming towards the end, or even some people during the pandemic,
Mhm.
and, like, life got pretty weird there for a couple years. Like, I'm in New York City, so things here were, like
Oh, yeah.
they were real crazy,
Yeah.
and we weren't going outside a lot, It's like everyone got weird there for a couple years, and it's like this was
Yeah.
I think Book Talk and finding online community and learning how to talk to other people again online, like, I think it was good for a lot of people.
I do too, for sure. And definitely, like, TikTok really just it's really, like, its own world, really. And
Yes.
I wish that I was on TikTok during the pandemic. I didn't get on TikTok until really, like, 2021. Like, when it had first came out or it was, like, really popular in, like, 2021 when we were all home, I was like, "I'm not getting on TikTok." Like, there are just so many apps now. But once I got on it, I was like, "This is actually really entertaining. I see why people enjoy it."
Yeah, I instantly did too. Like I said, my cousin, she told me to get it and she would send me stuff. And at
Mhm.
first I only looked at what she would send me and then I started scrolling. And I think TikTok was, especially back then, much better at making your FYP really for you. Like I
Yeah.
know every app wanted to do that, but TikTok was really like, oh, okay, I see you. Like this is what you like. Here's more.
Yeah. It was 100% for you. That's the one thing I love. I always loved about TikTok because it's gonna show you, like, you think about something like, "Hmm, I really wanna have this," or "I really wanna
Yeah.
try this out. I wanna do this, da, da, da," and TikTok will show you. They know too much, but I love it.
I was like deep down rabbit holes in 2020 of watching people like virtually date in New York City because they couldn't meet up and they were like meeting on rooftops on opposite buildings, like on FaceTime with little picnics. And it was like, it was so fun to see because, especially at that time, like there was no social connection. And a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
people really figured out how to make TikTok that connection,
For
not only for
sure.
themselves, but like for building communities. And
Yeah, I agree. And the thing that I always just will always hold like a great respect for when it comes to TikTok that Instagram just doesn't do is that, you could just be a regular person. You don't have to have the greatest camera quality in the world. And you don't have to be like this conventional beauty. Like you can just be authentically yourself on TikTok
yeah,
and you can find people that want to be in community with you regardless. And that's something that I just always love. I feel like it just changed like the entire world of like what it means to be like an influencer. Like anybody can. And more
yeah.
so, they want to see regular people, regular Joes, 9 to 5, who is very relatable. And I feel like I like that we're at that point now.
And I did you touched on this when you were talking about your content and growing your account, is that I think that TikTok is one of the first social medias that really encourages authenticity.
Yeah, for sure.
People want to get to know the real you. They don't want the curated Instagram version of you where you
Yes.
only post the best pictures and only the best angles and you're always at the most expensive restaurant. Like TikTok is like, I want to see what you did on your day off. Like,
Exactly. I
what
wanted to see that
did you
struggle.
do? Yeah. It's like you woke up and watched 4 hours of your favorite show. Cool. Show it to me. Like
Yeah.
I wanna see your couch and how you were laid up and, like, your setup, like,
Right. Exactly.
that's why
And that was
I've cross posted a little bit on Instagram, but, like, b Bookstagram is so aesthetic, and I'm like, "Ooh, I am not an aesthetic girly."
at all me either.
And it's like, I like
That's
photography a lot, but it's like, I don't have, like, little pretty setups where I can take pictures of my books and, like
right, same. It seems like the only kind of people that really, like, go viral on, like, Bookstagram are, like, the girlies who have, like, these grand, like, in-house libraries with a freaking ladder that, like, rolls around the whole thing.
and I love it, but again, it's like,
I
it's
just
not relatable.
not relatable. I am a middle class at best, girly, okay? I work with what I got. Like,
Yeah, it's like, I live in an apartment, like, I don't have an extra room for a library.
thank you, exactly. So, like, I don't know how that's gonna happen, but I was talking to one of my mutuals and they were just like, when TikTok had went down on January 19th, and they were just like,
Yeah,
"I don't really wanna do Bookstagram, but Imma do it because, like, we need more people on Bookstagram that are just average Joes, that are not necessarily, like, the most aesthetic, but, like, they're just real people that talk about their passion and their interests, and they're
yeah.
interesting to watch." Um, so it's just kind of like, let's just do it. Forget it, like, let's just go for it.
I like I said, I try, and it's like I'm still trying to figure out what works over there because a lot of
Yeah.
what I do is I just cross post. I'll post it on um, TikTok, IG, and YouTube Shorts,
Yeah.
and it has been fascinating to see. Like I've had stuff that flopped on TikTok go like semi-viral on Shorts, and I'm like, that's weird
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
because
I've had that before too.
Shorts is a real weird space. I'm not even sure that I get it.
Yeah, I'm still a little, like, on edge when it comes to shorts because see, the reason too why I like TikTok is because it feels safe there. Like
It
I
does.
know 9 times out of 10 I'm gonna attract people that are like not necessarily like me, but kind of like me, but like in their own different way, whatever. Like those are my kind of people. But on Instagram, It's a whole 'nother universe. On YouTube, people can be really raw, to say
Really,
the
they can be
least.
comment sections on YouTube are historically mean. And
Yes.
the video that I did, it was when the trend was going on with the Lady Gaga song where it's like, "I don't wanna be friends," and then everybody made it into their own niche, and mine was that, like, I walk into someone's house and their entire bookshelf is self-help books, and then for me saying, "I don't wanna be friends." That's funny. That's for
Yeah.
on Book Talk, I feel like that's relatable. On YouTube, I forgot that a lot of people are there for self-help related topics, and
Yeah.
I think that's why it might have gone viral is because it was not well received, and, like, after, like, the first 6 hours, I was like, "Oh, yeah, YouTube comments are bad. Stop responding to people. Like,
Right.
this is not good for your health." So I
And
kinda let it be, and
yeah.
it did its own thing, and, like, it got a lot of views, and I was like, "Wow, this is a very different experience."
Yeah, no, for sure. Like YouTube is definitely a completely different world. That's why, like, I know a lot of people, especially within like the book talk space, that have transferred, over to BookTube and stuff like that. I mean, a lot of it is like their own community from TikTok already.
Yeah.
So they have a much different experience than other people for sure. But yeah, I mean, YouTube has been around for how long? Like almost 20, not 20
Yeah,
years.
no, about 20 years.
About 20 years, okay, so yeah. Yeah, that is a whole 'nother universe,
It really is.
I don't know if I'm ready for that, but I'm just gonna put my best foot forward and see what happens.
I'm trying to figure it out as I go, it's like,
Yeah.
I found it's way harder to get people to click subscribe than it is to get people to click follow on TikTok, and it's like,
Yeah.
be a small account, like, I think people are even really hesitant to hit subscribe based on the fact that you don't have a lot, and it's like
Yeah, people do look at those things for sure. But I mean, again, it just happens with time. We all
yeah,
gotta start somewhere.
yeah. No, but it's like I did get a bunch of followers from that one short, and I'm like, I hope you stick around for the podcast." That's all I can, like,
Yeah.
hope for because it's like,
Right,
I don't make a ton of shorts over here.
right.
I try to
It's
remember
not
to
your
post,
thing.
but it's yeah, maybe. Just take things that are not controversial on Book Talk and take them to BookTube,
Right.
and they'll be
So
controversial.
and just see what happens for sure. Yeah,
Now,
that's interesting base.
already took an hour of your time, but I always like to try and touch base on this towards the end. I called this podcast Books and Beyond because my main passion is books, but I wanted to be able to talk about the other things that I'm into.
Yeah.
Beyond books and reading, what are some other things that you're passionate about? What is C.Dotcentral doing when she's not reading? What are the things that you dream about?
I gotta be honest, sleep. I dream I'm just kidding, no. No, definitely, if I had to be honest, like, I'm really big on, like, trail walks. I love and I know that this is, like, still books, but I really enjoy making my own bookmarks for fun.
Oh, see,
That's
no,
like a new
that's
hobby.
super fun. That's like
Yeah.
crafting it up.
For sure. Outside of that though, I'm huge on history. Like I am completely obsessed with like history videos, crime videos on YouTube and documentaries and things of that nature. So I will literally sit down and take notes on like different documentaries and like history and stuff like that. So that's honestly mainly what I'm doing if I'm not reading because it keeps my attention. But I also like cooking too. And I love
Oh, nice.
seafood. Yeah,
You love seafood?
I do.
I'm gonna disappoint you here. I was born and raised on an island, and I don't eat seafood.
You know what? That's understandable. I understand. I completely get it. I completely get it. But
That's
yeah,
super unpopular in my family that still lives on said island.
it's completely fine. But yeah.
That no, that's really fun. I love a good documentary too. I That's usually if I am watching Netflix, it's usually a documentary.
Oh yeah, because Netflix, they always have like you will find a good documentary on Netflix for
Yeah.
sure.
Have you seen, what is it called? I'm gonna space on it now. It's a whole series. They're coming out with a new episode every Tuesday. I believe it's called Trainwreck.
You know what? I did see that last night, but I didn't read anything like what the synopsis was or anything like that. I just saw
There's
it.
Yeah, every Tuesday is a different topic. Like, this week was which one was this week? Oh, storming Area 51 in 2019.
Oh yes, I actually I did see the first episode of that. I didn't know that was called Trainwrecked.
Trainwreck, I believe so, and then
Correct.
yeah, and then each, week it has, like, a different name, like, there's one for Bubble Boy from years ago where they thought that little kid was in that bubble, that,
Oh,
like
okay.
that floated
Okay.
right. There was one called, Poop Cruise. It was about a cruise ship
What?
that lost power and didn't have toilets for 5 days.
What?
This
That's
started this
insane.
started years ago where like, a one-off thing where they had an episode about Woodstock '99 and how
Okay.
disastrous that was, and then, yeah, now every Tuesday they're coming out with like, the Area 51 was I think it was 2 45-minute episodes.
Yeah, it was 2 of them. I watched the first one, I didn't go back and watch the second one. I was I was watching all that.
But, yeah, there was one called PI Moms, which was about a failed, reality TV show about, like, moms who were, like, private investigators.
What? I'm gonna have to check this out, Jay. This sounds up my alley.
They're fun because it's, like, they're usually, like, 45 to 60 minutes, and they're either
Yeah.
1 or 2 episodes.
Okay, yeah,
Uh,
I'm gonna check that out.
I've been watching a lot of that. I'm trying to think of what else I've been watching on there with documentaries. I just watched one just came out last week. It was Amy, I forget her last name, but Amy something disappears, and it was a woman in the '90s who disappeared off of a cruise ship. Nobody knows where she went.
Oh, yeah, I added that one to my list. I did. I know what
That
you're
one
talking about.
that one was real good too. But there's a ton of good ones. Netflix and I can never remember the name because they keep changing it. I think we're back to HBO Max. It was
Oh,
just
they're
Max
changing
for a
again.
while. Yeah, it has a new icon and it's HBO Max again, I think. But they have a lot of good ones too.
Yeah, they do. I haven't been on there in a little while, but I they usually do have a lot of good ones too. When I was going on HBO Max, they should have just kept the name what it was before.
They've changed it like 5 times, and it's
I don't
like
know, man. I don't know why they keep changing
I mean, at this point, just call it HBO. That's what you've always been.
Right, exactly.
It's like we all grew up with you being HBO. We don't need
Right.
fancy names. It just changing your logo doesn't do anything. I'm looking directly at you, Goodreads. You're still
That part
trash.
too. They did change that. I was like, "Wait, what happened to the logo?" They didn't even and the thing about Goodreads is that it bothers me because I want to put half stars. Not every book is a solid 4
No.
or a solid 3. I
Nope.
need the half stars, and they refuse to make that update.
For me, the difference between a 3 and a 4 is, like, fairly big because I feel like
Mhm.
I rarely rate a book less than 3 because if it's less than a 3, like, I'm really not having a good time. Like,
Yeah,
to me,
yeah.
3 is like, "Yeah, that was pretty good."
It was cool. It was
Yeah,
average.
yeah, and
So it's just kind of like,
the
yeah.
difference between, like, average and, like to me, a 4 star is like, "That was really good," and 5 star was like, "Wow, that was like, I'm never gonna forget this."
Yeah, for
Of
sure.
good, so it's like but the difference between, like, average and really good is a lot.
Yes, exactly. I wish that they would change that, but that's why, I really do love Storygraph. I don't know if
Yeah,
you use that one.
I
Yeah,
use that
I
one too.
really love Storygraph. I love and I think they're gonna be making some updates to it very soon. I'm not sure, but that is definitely that's where I'm at, unless I'm reading
Al
something by an indie author. Yeah,
Also, I mean, another huge win is that Storygraph is not owned by Amazon, so
that too. That
it
too.
no non-Bezos.
Not Bezos. For sure.
It's so much better, but it's like Goodreads is just so established that it's hard to not
I
use it because it's
know.
like I have
Yeah.
people on there that don't even, book talk, like,
Yeah.
the
It's gonna take
average
a while.
the average person who reads a few books a year even is on there.
Yeah, for sure. It's gonna take a little while, but I feel like Storygraph can definitely do it. They can
I think
accomplish
so.
it.
It's just everything about it is better. The
Yeah,
UI looks better
it
because
does.
Goodreads really does look like as much as we were saying sometimes we miss the 2000s internet, Goodreads still looks like it's there.
Yes, it does, like, no update whatsoever. None.
Yep.
It does.
And I've gone on my computer, it's not any better.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's still meant to be used on a computer, to be honest, which is wild
Okay.
2025, but it's not really better.
Yeah.
I'm not having more fun.
Yeah, but, here we are. Hopefully, they
My
update it soon.
my new thing is an app and a site called Libib, and I got myself, a barcode scanner, and
Oh.
Libib can actually be if you pay for it, like libraries, like actual libraries use this as their, like, inventory system,
Oh, cool.
or you can use it for free. So it's like all of my books are currently on my living room floor because I scanned them the night before last. So it's like now every book I own is in one database.
Yes, honestly, I really do need that because quite a few times I've bought the duplicates and I'm just like, "Wow, I just wasted $20 when I coulda used that for something else."
I've done it a few times, but thankfully every time I have done it was at a thrift store, so I was like, "Okay, at least it was only $2."
Yeah, yeah. And then it's like, what makes it so bad is that I lose the receipt, so it's not like I can take it back.
No,
It's just a map. Yeah.
receipts don't exist to me anymore. If if you're not gonna email it to me, it's
Exactly, I did an email
I have a
just to
trash can in my car, it's going straight there.
Hilarious.
Well, thank you so much for taking an hour out of your Saturday to join me.
Oh, yeah,
Before
for
we
sure.
go, I'm gonna link to your TikTok in the description of the episode. Is there anywhere else that you'd like me to link? Anywhere else that you want people to check you out?
Oh, no, I mean, TikTok is perfectly fine. That's great.
And if you ever do, get your YouTube going, let me know, and I'll make sure to
Okay,
shout it out here.
okay. I definitely will. Hopefully
And it
soon, hopefully soon.
yeah, it is fun, I will say. The long form, it's a new challenge, I think, and I do think you will excel at it. I think that your presentation style would do really well.
Hopefully, I'm scared, I'm nervous, I'm scared, but I'm just gonna put myself out there.
I am incredibly socially anxious. If I can do it, you can do it.
You're right.
True, I'm truly believe that.
Thank you, Jay. I really appreciate it. This was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah, anytime you wanna come back on, you're more than welcome. I'm happy to talk books whenever, so
Okay,
open
awesome.
invite on Books and Beyond.
Okay, great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much.